get real-time Secretary of State data. So we offer real-time, as in whatever reflects on the Secretary of State, we are going to have it for you. We can even get screenshots. So that data will be there available as screenshots, documents where it's available, officers where it's available. We're gonna get all the data that you can get from the Secretary of State. We can get it. We have integrations into all 51 states. And when a business registers, when they start, they have to register their business. And the Secretary of State tracks things, especially, this is what most people want, is things like the status, like is the business in good standing? And this is to help them assess risk. The big things they're looking for are fraud. Is this business real or is it not real? We went through and we did a research project where we wanted to find all the different statuses that exist with the Secretary of State. We found 402 different statuses in all 50 states. This is kind of a big deal. Let's say that you, as the savvy commercial underwriter you are underwriting a business for a commercial loan, and you see the status come back from the Secretary of State as suspended. What does that mean? Is that a concern? Should you hold off on this loan when everything else looks great? Well, we're going to talk about this more in this video. So it's really important that you understand the different statuses that each Secretary of State provides and what they mean. Today, we're going to walk through the statuses specific to a certain state, Nevada's 7 business entity statuses you need to know. Number 1, withdrawn. This status indicates that the entity has voluntarily withdrawn its business registration in Nevada, typically when a foreign corporation decides to cease operations in the state. For lenders, this status suggests the business has intentionally ended its operations in Nevada, potentially impacting its overall financial stability and ability to repay loans, especially if Nevada was a significant market for the company. Now, let's proceed to number 2, revoked. The state has revoked the entity's business license or registration due to non-compliance with filing requirements, such as failing to submit annual lists or not maintaining a registered agent. This status raises red flags for lenders as it indicates potential financial or operational issues, non-compliance with regulatory requirements, and increased risk in lending to such entities. Number 3, permanently revoked. Similar to revoked, but in this case, the revocation is permanent, typically due to repeated non-compliance or severe infractions. This status generally bars the entity from reinstating its business license in the state. For lenders, a permanently revoked status signifies a high-risk borrower, as it suggests a history of serious non-compliance and an inability to legally operate in Nevada, severely impacting the business's creditworthiness and operational viability. Now let's proceed to number 4, expired. This status is used for entities such as LLCs or corporations whose registration period has lapsed without renewal, often applied to business names or trademarks that are not renewed by the deadline. Lenders should approach businesses with expired status cautiously, as it may indicate financial difficulties, poor management, or a cessation of operations, all of which could affect the business's ability to repay loans. Number 5, dissolved. The business has been legally dissolved, either voluntarily by resolution of its members or owners, or involuntarily by action from the state due to non-compliance with statutory requirements. For lenders, a dissolved status typically means the business has ceased operations, presenting a high risk for lending as there may be no ongoing revenue stream or assets to secure loans. Let's proceed to number 6, default. This status is assigned to entities that have failed to comply with state requirements such as filing annual lists or paying the required fees, putting them in default of their obligations to the state. Lenders should view businesses in default status as higher risk, as it may indicate financial struggles, poor management, or a lack of attention to regulatory compliance, all of which could impact the business's stability and ability to meet loan obligations. Number 7, active. The business entity is in good standing with the Nevada Secretary of State, having met all necessary legal and filing requirements. It is authorized to conduct business in the state. For lenders, an active status is generally positive, indicating compliance with state regulations and ongoing operations, which suggests a lower risk profile for lending decisions, though further financial due diligence is still necessary. All right, let's look at an example if we wanted to do something like this and kind of how Cobalt Intelligence can help you with this. This right here is an example using this API. Now, Cobalt Intelligence is an API first, where the idea is that you can get all this data via API and get it integrated right into your system. Let's say you search for this business, 199 Franklin RC in California. So we're gonna hit send, and this is what we get back. Now, the status is suspended FTB, and this right here, specifically for California, is the Franchise Tax Board, which means it's delinquent with its taxes in California. Not enough to be terminated, but enough to put it in suspension. So this is somewhat of a risk here. Now, this could be hard to go through because, like we said, there's 402 different statuses out there. So what you can do is use this normalized status, where we go through and interpret these things, and we mark it as inactive. And we're gonna going to put those as two different options. It's either going to be active or it's going to be inactive. And so then you can programmatically, as you integrate this into your API and as this is processing through your software, you're going to get a feedback that says, hey, this business is active or inactive and may prompt further note. So it can kind of take it down certain paths. Now, if I was building this, I would use that as, like I said, a programmatic decision maker and put it in the this needs questioning right here. If it's inactive, I'm going to automatically put this in stipulations where someone's going to have to go and follow up further. And then you could display this string of suspended FTB, and then your underwriters could go through and check it and say, okay, this is something we need to dig further into, and this, or maybe not, or maybe we just decline the file altogether. I hope this has been helpful for you to see how these different statuses in the state can really vary and how it can be different for you and impact your business. I invite you to try the Secretary of State API. We have a free trial that it comes with, so you can go ahead and try it out. We also offer paid pilots, so you can try out a big number of searches and see really if the data is something that can be helpful for you. I'm Jordan Hansen. If this has been helpful at all, hit that like and subscribe button. We will help you out with what you're trying to do. Thank you.